Greetings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. My name is Natasha Fick and welcome to the program Women After God's Own Heart. Thank you for tuning in every single week. Thank you for telling your friends and telling your family about Women After God's Own Heart here on Life CBN. They can also tune in at www.lifecbn.com. Now, if you have been tuned in last week, I had Sirene Paulse with me in the studio, and she's back again, and we're talking about a book, 72 Hours Changed My Entire Life. So thank you, Sirene, for being here yet again, and thank you also for sharing with us your story. But for those that are tuned in now, for the very first time, tell us a bit about yourself.
I'm Sirene. I'm from Somerset, born and bred. Lived and was raised in Macassar and schooling. Moved to Bredasdorp in the year 2000. Got married. Lived in the West Coast for a good couple of years. Raised the kids. Came back to Stellenbosch 2013 for work. Moved the household 2015, and we are now for seven years roughly back in Somerset, and worked, did my house responsibilities, and in 2020 of September of 2020, life changed drastically within 72 hours, where I was normally able to disabled all of a sudden.
Sirene, tell us a bit more about the sickness. Sometimes we have never heard. I think you maybe also have never heard of it the day until the doctors came to you and gave you the prognosis about this is what is busy happening to you, or this is what has happened to you. And like you said, you were fully able. You could do everything on top of the world, I can say that. And here you have this big name being spoken over your life, and you don't know what is this name. Tell us a bit more about this, Sirene.
Okay, so the attack that left me paralyzed happened in 2020, but there was a year-long journey before then. I had back pain in 2019, unusual back pain. Went to the doctor. I asked, for what he must give me for a back pain. The back pain disappeared after, the meds. But then I started having pins and needles in the right side of my body. So whenever I would be driving or in a sitting position, I would get up, walk out from the couch, or got out of the car. Pins and needles would attack my right side of my body, where I had to go stand still, had to wait for the pins and needle to subside, and then I would be able to move further. Yes. So went to the
was
doctor.
That bad?
Oh, it wasn't so, but
not just the normal that we will get in our fingers.
It's like your feet. When it sleeps, you have that sensation, but it comes
like
through
almost
from my
numb.
Yes, from my toes up until my whole right side of my body. So then you would stand still, for it to disappear, so to speak, and then you can move on. So I gotten used to that would happen, when I got up from a sitting position. And anyway, went to the doctor, back to the doctor, said, listen, after the treatment of the back pain, I now have pins and needles. And the doctor said, look, that is not a after effect or negative effect from the treatment. We must, have a look what it is. So, okay, then my journey started in 2019. Started with blood test, x-rays, physio, to determine, is it my back? Is it something in my bloodstream that's causing it? And nobody could say what was wrong.
Or pick up anything.
Nothing. There was just no sign. And then COVID hit in March 2020, and then the investigation, so to speak, stopped, because then doctors was just occupied with COVID. And then September, one fine day, while in the office, I was having a quick casual meeting with one of the managers there, and I had a sensation over me. Funny sensation came over me, and it was, we had masks on and all of that. And after I had to, keep my pose and not distract, the others that was around me. And when they left, I took off my mask and my mouth was wet. And I didn't understand, what just happened. And I sat down. I don't even remember taking a tablet for whatever I just had, episode. I think I took a few minutes time out and then I went back to work. I continued with my day. And I didn't even tell Patrick. And the Friday, that was a Thursday, the Friday, Patrick saw a rash on the right side of my body, under my arm and on the right side. And we connected, obviously Google.
Yes.
We went to Google and we said pins and needles and we said rash, and it came to shingles. Went back to the doctor and I said, "Doctor, look, this must be shingles." Started with treatment the Saturday. The Monday I was paralyzed.
Sure.
And this was not because of shingles. This was not because of the treatment of the back pain. This was all alerts. And in that year, all signs. And in that year, after the back pain, I started getting spots, red spots on my body, a faint red spot, on all parts of my body. And we couldn't understand. We also asked the doctor, "Listen, this is now the spots that's coming on." And I could say what was wrong. And that was all the signs that was showing to say that something is wrong. A matter.
Yes.
And when the attack came that Thursday, the 4th or the 3rd of September 2020, that left me paralyzed. And this is the state that I am in now. So the doctor diagnosis was about 7 days in, when I was in hospital. And he came to me, it was him and his team, a few other doctors, and they said neuromyelitis optica. And I thought, okay, so what am I going to take for this? Can we start with the medicine? Because, I want to move on with my life.
Yes.
And then, the reality kicked in. And I shared with Patrick and we started digging. What is this neuromyelitis optica? And it's actually a autoimmune disease that affects or attacks the nervous system.
Sure.
And the nervous system of your body is like headquarters. It operates everything. It operates your mind to your limbs, your lower limbs, your upper limbs, your fingers, your knees, your toes, your legs, all of that. So your brain tells your hand to lift like this. And in the beginning, I couldn't do this. After the attack, I could not do this. You had to see it to believe it.
Yes.
I couldn't manage my phone. I couldn't manage my earphones, taking out my earphones from my ear. I couldn't put it back. If my head was itching, if I didn't see myself in the mirror, I didn't know that my hand was going up to my hair. That was the type of things that suddenly was missing.
So you can say it was almost your brain was haywire.
Reset. It was really, I was put on reset. I don't know of a better word. It's like you are teaching a baby to take the bottle and, or take the dummy or take the spoon and put it back. How you teach a baby how to, from lying on the stomach to crawling to later walking against the furniture and then walking. That is where I was at that time. And I could do nothing for myself. I could do nothing for myself. I could not eat with a spoon. Not even a spoon. If I even tried, the one day I managed to keep a cup in my hand with coffee, and they just gave me a little bit of coffee because if that coffee would obviously spill on me, I would burn. And I managed that morning to take the coffee and bring it to my mouth and put it back. The next morning, the coffee spilled and I was devastated. They had to get the psychiatrist in to come talk to me, and yesterday I was on a high, and now today what happened? And I said, you know what? Yesterday I could manage this cup, And today, I spilled it all over me, and that is the episodes that I had to go through, from being able to do everything for myself, relying on only me, to waiting on somebody else to do everything for me.
Wow.
So that is how drastically my life changed,
Yeah.
and how I had to adapt to being patient.
Yeah.
How I had to learn how to wait, which is something that I was not born with.
Yes.
So yeah, I've learned to be patient. I've learned to wait. I've learned to be mindful, of the things that I ask.
Yeah.
So that was my journey from being able to disabled.
Sure. And Sirene, this also has to do with your eyes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So many people that I've spoken to, that I've been interacted with, we've got a group, a support group that's international.
Okay.
And then we've got a support group that is local in South Africa.
Okay.
And my article in the Career of 2021, one lady reached out to me and on Facebook, and she said she's so glad that she knows of another person that's got neuromyelitis optica. And I messaged her, and we started to talk. She's in PE. At that time, she was 32 years old, and she was 22 when she was diagnosed. And she was sick for 10 years. She was in a matric class when her one eye just blanked out. She was sitting in the class, listening to the teacher, I hope, and something happened, and she rubbed the eye, and when she took away her hand, it was gone. Her sight was gone.
Sure.
And they originally diagnosed her with MS, multiple sclerosis. That word I can't always say, but MS. And the diagnosis was wrong. And she had numerous attacks after attacks after attacks. And it also affected her other eye. And she was matric at that stage. She finished matric, she started with her studies, and she fell pregnant. She gave birth to a boy, and after the cesarean, she couldn't stand up. She was just paralyzed, and they thought it was because of the cesarean. And then they had in mind that she was diagnosed with MS as well, and they knew that something else was the matter. So they had further tests done, and then only after 4 years she was diagnosed with neuromyelitis optica. That is how rare this disease is. I think it's the last disease that a doctor thinks of, when it comes to the neuro diseases.
Yes.
And if she was diagnosed earlier, I think things would have changed for her, because she was still walking, Natasha.
Wow.
When she turned blind in the one eye, she was walking. She went to go study. She even stayed, away from home, which she managed on her own, and so on. And
while being blind in the one eye.
In the one eye.
Sure.
She did a 4-year course, and she went through all of that. And then when her son never knew her as a mom that can walk. When her son, got his senses, his mom was in a wheelchair.
Yes.
And very sadly, she passed away last year. Sure. Yeah, she passed away last year. She was living with her father and her mother that supported her and her son. And her son is 10 years old and is now orphaned.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think if she was diagnosed
earlier,
things would have turned out better for her.
And Sirene, how many people does this affect?
Very
or
very
have
little.
It affect?
Very, very, very little. We are such a small group of supporters on the local Facebook group that we know of. There was now recently a lady that also had relapses.
Okay.
She was paralyzed, and she was in hospital also for 3 months. And we heard now last week she said that she's in a walking ring.
Wow.
Yeah, she's now after physio and all of that. She's back into I think it's called the walking ring. And but you know what I mean. And she, the relapses can come anytime. It's an incurable disease.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's no tablet for it. There's no injection.
Yeah,
There's no
yeah.
treatment. The only thing that doctors can do is to give me treatment so that it don't attack again.
Yeah, yeah.
Because of a next attack
The
can leave me
eyes.
blind.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So I think for me,
And what did you also do to make your journey easier?
you have to work with the people that is willing to work with you. The physios, the occupational therapists, the doctors. The state that I'm in, people, you come to the doctor, then they want you to get up onto the bed.
And you can't.
I can't.
Yes.
So they don't work with people in wheelchairs every day.
Yeah.
So then you can't, lose your cool. You have to say, okay, I can't get onto your bed, but can we do it this way?
Yeah.
Or my transfer board must be with me and my carer must help me onto the bed and so on. So it's a whole procedure, getting into a car, out of the car, onto the bed.
Yes.
It's just things that you have to learn to live with.
Yes.
Otherwise, you are going to go crazy.
Yes. Yes.
So it's a choice every day. When I open my eyes and I can see, then I make a choice how I'm going to take that day.
To deal with that day. And also, Sirene, time is running out so quickly. And your marriage, how did it affect your marriage as well?
Listen, with the spots that I had on my body, with all of the other things that happened in the background, there's a lot of side effects of this illness. It affects things in the bedroom. It affects very, very wide. So there was a stage, where me and my husband, we didn't understand. We didn't say eye to eye. And there was even thoughts in my mind of, maybe we must call it a day. We must leave because you don't understand me and I don't understand you.
Yes.
And this was all the illness that was creeping in little by little. But I thank God that, we made it. And if it was not for Patrick's support, if it was not for his patience, I understand now why
he has such a lot of patience.
I couldn't.
And why you had to get married to him.
Yes, I understand it completely now.
Yeah.
And but if it wasn't for him, the way he treats me, this leg, I can't feel.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean he can make with the legs what he wants
Yes,
to.
yes.
So he still treats me with respect. He still treats me with patience. So that for me is the most amazing part, how we conquered all of this whole 2-year, 3-year journey. And where we are now, we finally understand this is where we are now.
And you're dealing with it on a daily basis.
Yes, day by day.
Sirene, what surprised you also most when you wrote the book, looking back at your journey?
How quickly, sometimes we think we are irreplaceable.
Yes.
If we are not there, then things cannot happen.
Yeah, the company will close.
Yes, sister. So for me, that was the most amazing part. When I look back and I wrote the book and I made my figures and all of that, I thought to myself, you know what, I wasn't gone for even a good 10 days. Then a new manager was, took over my store. And I thought to myself, wow.
Yes.
But what I took out of that was that I've given so much of myself. I've sacrificed so much time that I could have spent with my family.
Yes.
Towards my work, my career, all of the things that I chased for the good of the family. I gave so much, and yet I was replaced within 10 days.
Amen.
And the company is thriving without
you. So it just shows you.
Is it all worth it?
Yeah.
Is all the chase worth it?
Yeah.
Because the people that is putting me back together is my family. Is my husband, is the kids that waited for me to come home for supper. It's the people that I didn't have time with. The people that I said, I'm tired. The people that I said, I can't come and visit.
Yes.
That is the people that is picking me up now. So that was for me the biggest surprise, that life can go on without you.
Without you.
Yeah.
Wow, Sirene, I don't know about you, but I've been hanging on to every single word that Sirene shared today. I trust you also enjoyed this interview today, and like I said, I met Sirene also last year, 2021.
2020, yeah.
And it feels also like we've known one another for
So
ages.
long.
And her story is a must share. Her story is a must listen to, and you must hear her story. And I just watch her Facebook sometimes. Sometimes I don't answer, and when I do answer, I answer all the things that I normally don't see. I went and go comment on most of the stuff. But you know what? It's for me so nice and to see that how God is busy using her to talk into other people's lives, to encourage other people, how she's busy motivating people, how she's busy motivating me. She's busy motivating me, she's busy encouraging me, looking at her life and where she's at now. So thank you very much, Sirene. May God bless you. May God take you from strength to strength.
Yes.
And contact details will be on the screen, where you can find a book, where you can find Sirene, if you also would like her to come and speak to your ladies, to women, wherever you want her to come and speak. Teenagers, wherever. We're not putting a limit to where she must go. Any age. If you want to contact her, please contact her so that she can come and share her story with you as well. Thank you very much, Sirene, and God bless you.
Thank you, Natasha.
And next week, same place, same time. God bless you. Bye-bye. And thank you for tuning in.